Greetings, comrades and psychonauts. Dirt Son of Earth here, and I'm gonna give you a little reflection or review of a meme. It's a new meme. Probably haven't seen it. Very hot off the press. It's Bernie Sanders sitting in a chair with a winter coat and mittens. No, I joke. Of course. This is a very saturated meme right now, right? It's been just over a week since it first appeared, since the inauguration of Joe Biden, and even the day that it happened, it was everywhere. The couple days after the inauguration, it was hard to look at the internet without experiencing the Chairman Sanders meme. I really love this phrase that's come out of it, Chairman Sanders. So I'm kind of hearkening back to this Chairman Mao type thing. Not a Maoist, obviously. And so I want to touch on a few little aspects of it. First, we'll do some touch on the criticisms of it. I've heard people after like the first day or first 2 days, leftist people, saying like, okay, this is not funny. I'm so sick of this. Why are you putting Bernie Sanders in this chair everywhere? And it kind of mirrors the more liberal approach to criticizing the meme, which was like, he's literally just sitting there. Like, what's the big deal? What these people are missing is what the big deal is. It's Bernie's expression. Now, he's come out and said, I was cold. He had no intention of this. He was just cold, He's an old man, and it's cold outside. It's winter in Washington, D.C. So, socially distanced, trying to keep warm, but wearing the coat that had already granted him meme status through his campaign ads that were like, I'm once again asking you for financial support. So wearing the same coat, already carrying some mimetic energy. Now, why this stuck out to people so much, why we have this urge to put Bernie Sanders sitting in the chair everywhere, it's because we saw our hopes and desires reflected within it. Now, this goes for like Bernie bros, to actually more everyday Americans and like the progressive Democrat type, right? We were told and told ourselves that Bernie could still win, over and over again. Since 2016, you had this narrative going on. Hindsight was supposed to be 2020, and he did not win. He was beat by radical, liberal Joe Biden, centrist extreme. And I'm not one of those people. And Mike isn't either. We've talked about this quite a bit. We're happy Biden beat Trump. Yet, of course, we would have rather Bernie had the chance to beat Trump and given us an option for, an actual reform, a return to something other than normal. So, what we get is Bernie sitting in the chair meme. And he's upset. He looks upset, at least. He may have just been cold. But that reflects our attitude on the situation, especially compared to the stark contrast of how everyone else was presented at this inauguration. And that's the second strong critique that really comes from it, which is the liberal feminist critique, where you see comparisons of Bernie sitting in there and getting all this meme attention compared to people dressed to the nines, right? And these women absolutely had some really great outfits, whether you like their political policies or not. The fashion was on point, right? But it kind of missed something in the spirit of our times. There's a global pandemic going on, and America completely mismanaged it, and a lot of people are suffering. So it's kind of parallel to the way the stock market, even before GameStop, is skyrocketing, while the real economy and real people are under immense pressure. There's record levels of unemployment, of people seeking food assistance, of people being evicted, being not able to pay their rent or their mortgage. So while you have that going on, and you see all these people dressed up so nicely, it feels distasteful, right? I mean, think of Lady Gaga's outfit. Really cool outfit, honestly. And she has this big brooch of the dove carrying the olive branch, supposed to symbolize peace. But the way it read to almost everyone was to have some serious Hunger Games energy, right? Like, I mean, I was at a bar, a coffee shop, at the time when the inauguration was happening, and the whole crowd of mixed demographic people, and like, I'm sure some Trump supporters and stuff like that, and some Democrats, some Bernie bros, and maybe a few actual socialists, all looked up and were like, what the fuck is with the Hunger Games Gaga? And that's how it looked at. It looked like we were looking at the Capitol celebrate this spectacle, and Chairman Sanders was the only one there thinking, yeah, but what about the real people? What about the concerns, So when you're seeing something so grand in comparison to what your everyday life is, it can feel a bit disgusting. So I think that's like the libidinal energy invested in Sanders, the Sanders sitting meme, is a reflection of that, of the, maybe unconscious disgust at the pomp and circumstance. Even if you're happy that Trump's out of office, even if you're happy that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are in office, there's still an unconscious distaste because the reality of the situation. And now we've come to the point where it's been a little over a week, right? And the memes have slowed down a little bit, mostly because other things have took on and started spreading, like such as the GameStop short squeeze and all of that. But I think the Chairman Sanders meme is here to stay. I think we're gonna see it come back again and again. And I think Bernie is gonna be one of the most memed people in history. Maybe Trump was memed more, but Trump memes tend to be negative. Of course, there's like the positive, creepy, muscular Rambo Trump and stuff like that. But Sanders memes overall are generally either supportive of Sanders or he's just a vessel. And that's what I think is going to happen here, is that Chairman Sanders with the mittens looking disappointed is going to be a vessel for memes, much the way like a Doge dog or Leonardo DiCaprio from the Django Unchained, like that kind of thing, where it just becomes a reaction, just like a resignation and an irritation that's going to happen. And why is that? I think, well, for what I've already said, but also it feels like a bit hauntological in a sense, and that probably is just because we've been reading Ghost in My Life and discussing hauntology. But it's like the Sanders that couldn't be president is kind of haunting us in that meme, always showing up, and he's resigned. He's there with his gloves and looking pissed, and that's how we feel about it, and it's gonna feel that way every time there's something going on. That's my prediction. Like, Biden administration will obviously do some stuff that we're happy about, and they'll do a lot of stuff that we're not happy about. And I see, there'll be those moments where those unhappy things will be memed, and there'll be Bernie in the corner, sitting there, looking mad with his mittens. And so I wanted to read a little bit. This is Mark Fisher talking about Wendy Brown and left melancholia. So I'll read a short passage here. What Wendy Brown calls left melancholy. On the face of it, what I've said risk being heard as a kind of leftist melancholic resignation. Although they weren't perfect, the institutions of social democracy were much better than anything we can hope for now. Perhaps the best we can ever hope for. And then he goes on to say that Brown attacks a left that operates without either a deep and radical critique of the status quo or a compelling alternative to the existing order of things. But perhaps even more troubling, it is a left that has become more attached to its impossibility than to its potential fruitfulness. A left that is most at home dwelling not in hopefulness, but its own marginality and failure. A left that is thus caught in a structure of melancholic attachment to a certain strain of its own dead past, whose spirit is ghostly, whose structure of desire is backward-looking and punishing. That's brown there, that last bit. And I think that's it, right? You know, Bernie is looking back, and he is punished there. Almost has become, you know, a stand-in for Paul Klee's Angel of History that Walter Benjamin wrote about, looking back at the pile of rubble and damage that we call progress. Now, Bernie, this isn't a critique of Bernie by any means. I think he is still the best face for, you know, American politics and what could happen. And he, for the matter, has taken that image and, you know, monetized it for good. He put it on sweatshirts that have sold out multiple times, and he's using that money to feed people in need in his home state. It's like over $1 million raised for Meals on Wheels, which is wonderful for him to do. But what we should be haunted by is not the Bernie that didn't win, but the Bernie that could have won. The future that could have been produced through, you know, an actual democratic socialist type reform and something even better, hopefully. And what we're reminded of is that, you know, when these liberals take power, when the Democratic Party, so to say, takes power, they don't use that power like the Republican Party will. The Republican Party is ruthless when they want to use power, you know? The denying of judges throughout the Obama administration, the attack on anything they can conceivably attack, they will do it. When the Democrats have historically gotten power, they do very little. Think of the first 2 years of the Obama administration, where Democrats controlled almost everything and got almost none of their accomplishments. I mean, you could say, sure, they got the ACA, but the ACA isn't what we wanted. It's better than what we had, sure, but it is not what we asked for. It is, in fact, a, you know, centrist, right-wing concession designed to fail by the Heritage Foundation. And that's exactly what happened. You know, immediately it was attacked by the next administration. So Bernie sits there haunting us with his gloves on, but what we needed to be haunted by is a left that can take the gloves off and exercise real power. So hopefully that's what we get in 2021. We want to see Bernie take off the mittens, and we want us, the left, to take off our gloves and finally think about what we would do with power if we had it, so we can exercise that. Remember, the no longer is nothing to mourn. The not yet is what we need to focus on. Thank you.